just as an example, the fact that Boeing is operating off DEI hires is an example to me that things are about to go to head, where because if the left was purely cynical, they'd think, oh, the industries like DEI and the medical industry will keep the competent white guys in there. But no, they genuinely believe this stuff. So it will cause social breakdown. So the Republicans have that issue. The Democrats are in a problem where they've cut out all dissenters, and at the same time, their institutions are dead and can't survive. So the left will want to start a war as a way to get out of their own internal issues, which is incredibly common historically. So that's one angle of it, the right and the left self-interest. The other angle of it is that the average American is careening very close to bankruptcy now. And if you look at the average American savings, they built them up during COVID and they're about to hit bankruptcy. And the economic issues, the thing that I can't overstate on every single one of these podcasts is how completely miserable the average American is, economically, socially, on a variety of different metrics. And about 20% of Americans are doing better, 80% are doing vastly worse. And I don't think the average American can sustain another 4 years of this. And it's going to keep piling up, and there's not going to be a solution until there is a war, because the problems that make life so hard for the average American are, I'm going to make a video how boomer bureaucracies are destroying America. Because I think the most dangerous thing to America and the West is the creation of these boomer bureaucracies that just consume everything as they continue to try to support the boomers without the population structure they were invented with. And so you have the right and the left in positions of desperation. You have the average American in positions of desperation. And also, we just have no cards left as a society. We've burned. So, let's say you had a horrible breakup and you're drinking to get over the breakup, and then you become an alcoholic. That's what we are, where we've every single short-term strategy we would have done, whether money printing, whether burning old social, because we don't make new movies, we don't make new music. We've burned through all of our old social capital, and now there's no good new movies or music. So we've burned through all of the cards we would use to delay this. And I frankly think over the period we're talking about right now, so many Americans have been pushed into poverty and bankruptcy that they're just going to say YOLO, and I want there to be a civil war, because that way there's going to be a debt jubilee.
Well, so I asked our good AI friend to make the average, make a graph showing the average American savings over the past 10 years adjusted for inflation. And you can see that we are now below 2014 levels as of today. But it's not, what's interesting to me is not that it's comparable to 2014. It's the massive drop off from 2020 to 2020, that's 2023, existing data. So it's interesting because, okay, well, we're only as bad as we were in 2014, right? But imagine how someone feels, and feelings matter more than what is.
The thing that doesn't cover is cost of living, where cost of living has skyrocketed since 2014 to an insane degree. Housing, food, and the last time I was on this show, I was talking about the Great Wave and the economic patterns used to predict conflicts like this. And it's high resource price, high food price, high real estate, economic bull runs, massive government budget that keeps surging, and what I've consistently found is that our budget is ridiculous. We're never going to repay it. We have to come to terms with the fact that America will end up becoming a bankrupt country. And so it's only a matter of time before we default on the debt. And there's no way to default on the debt without a political crisis. And this is how most of those previous historic crises took place, because you have to get rid of the debt. And the way you get rid of the debt is by changing the government, so the new government's not responsible for the old government.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon. So subscribe and come hang out.